Welcome. My name is Michelle Beebe, and I'm the manager for Kettering Health Network's Childbirth Education and Perinatal Outreach. October is Safe Sleep Awareness and SIDS Awareness Month. And because of that, we'd like to discuss that with you today. I'm delighted to have Krishan Henderson with me, who is a Help Me Grow Brighter Futures home visiting nurse and also a member of our childbirth education team. In addition, I have Miranda Harvey, who is a childbirth educator. Both of these nurses have a background in both the hospital and in the classroom. And we are passionate to share information with families and our community about safe sleep. Every year, 3,500 babies across the United States pass away from unsafe sleep practices, and just one is too many. So today, as we look at that, we'd like to share information with you. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that every family has a safe sleep environment for their infant. And safe sleep deaths are preventable. But how? Why? What do we do? So let's break it down. First of all, we talk about A, B, C, and you'll see that across banners, billboards, literature, but what does that mean? So, ladies, first thing, what does A stand for?
A stands for alone, in the crib alone.
So, alone, what about the teddy bear?
Oh, the teddy bears are cute and fluffy. The crib pads are just beautiful. It's very picturesque, but there shouldn't be any blankets, no toys, no crib pads, no loose blankets or anything like that in the baby's crib. So literally A stands for alone in the crib. And it might look boring and plain, but it's the safest.
So Miranda, as a mom, how is this alone? What do we do? Grandma gives you a beautiful blanket. What do you say?
I know, I'm laughing at that because in the hospital, I've had that conversation with parents that they'll put this big fluffy blanket on the baby and it's like, oh, my grandma crocheted this for me. But no, they should not have anything that is not attached to baby, anything that's loose in the crib.
So absolutely alone. One thing I used to tell moms was those blankets are blankets of presentation. Wrap the baby in it when you're carrying it, take some beautiful pictures, but then not necessarily put it in the crib because we don't want anything that could get up on their little fingers or face and get attached. What about hats?
So actually babies can overheat if they have hats on while sleeping. So hats should not ideally be on a baby during sleeping hours. So nap time, night time, no hats. But during the day, you're in the home carrying the baby around or you go travel somewhere, sure, put a hat on the baby, but not during sleep time.
I will say too, big bows are a fad right now.
Yeah.
So they can definitely come over baby's nose, and then, come off their head and be a loose thing in the crib that they can suffocate with.
And I was thinking about the hats. That brought up a good point. The hat actually could slide down while the baby is sleeping and cover the face. So not only is temperature an issue, but it's actually a safety issue because it could cover the baby's face. And I've seen that the hats aren't fitted. And so as the baby turns his head, that hat is going to move. So it'll either come off and lay in the crib and baby suffocate or come over the baby's face. So hats are not recommended.
But they use them in the hospital right after delivery.
They do.
So do we talk to the moms and say, hey, just because we're using it in the first couple hours, it doesn't mean it's safe sleep?
I think actually it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think we need to do more education in the hospital, honestly, because they see what we do in the hospital and they think, oh, it's okay, when maybe, there's probably some things that we shouldn't do because they are watching us.
I've had to have that very same conversation in the special care nursery. And oftentimes we will have our babies in the special care nursery in different positions. But it is because they need respiratory support. And also those babies are being monitored literally 24/7. And so when our parents come in to visit their infant, their baby, we will explain, we're here watching and monitoring the baby. This is necessary because of the baby's age or stage. But once you take the baby home, baby should be on its back. In fact, before the baby leaves the special care nursery, it has to literally like graduate to sleeping on its back.
Right.
So if it's not able to, maintain its respiration, saturation, etc., sleeping on its back, then it's not ready to go home. So on the back is necessary just for discharge. So yeah.
So you took us to back.
I did. I'm sorry.
On their back. No, that's amazing.
It was a perfect transition.
Perfect transition. So babies sleep on their back.
Right.
That's a hard one because in the old days, we taught everybody to put their baby on the stomach.
Yeah.
What is the big thing about the back?
Well, I was doing some reading and it actually supports their structure inside. So even if the baby regurgitates, spits up, then sleeping on the back allows fluids to either come out the mouth, nose, or go back down their esophagus versus if they're on their stomach, it's going to go into their lungs. And that's what we want to avoid. So studies have shown, research have shown that on the back is safest.
So the baby sleeps on its back and it gets a flat head. What about that?
Well, that's where tummy time comes
that's
into
what I
play.
was gonna say.
Yeah. Cannot emphasize enough. I work with a lot of my moms on tummy time from like day one when they bring their baby home. Start the baby with tummy time. It's beneficial in so many ways, as far as making sure the head does not become flat. It also helps that baby to develop its neck muscles, get them strong for being able to sit up, which leads to rolling over, which leads to crawling. So I'm like a big advocate for tummy time.
Yeah. I mean, they don't love it at first.
No, they don't.
And so that's maybe why some parents don't do it as often, but it's so important for their growth and
So you
development.
don't just put a baby on the tummy and go in the other room and leave them on a mat by themselves?
No. Supervised tummy time.
Supervised tummy time. I always say, the first month of life, the baby's going to do nosedives. And who wants to be doing a nosedive down there by themselves on a blanket? Let's actually get down and play with them.
Yeah.
Right.
And tummy time is any time when they're not on their back, right? So dad can be involved with tummy time. He may not be breastfeeding a baby, but he could be involved with tummy time because tummy time would be on his chest.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
I did tummy time all the time with my baby on my chest and stuff because they enjoyed it more. They're right next to you. They can smell you and stuff. So yeah, that's tummy time. They don't need to be just constantly on the floor doing tummy time.
And they'll instinctively look up at you while they're on your chest, actually. Just get a look at mom or dad. Who is this person? Yeah. So it's adorable too.
I love it. So the crib. That is one of the big challenges. What would you tell a new mom shopping for a crib, getting prepared for this baby? What would you tell her?
You want something with a firm mattress. And I just had a conversation the other day with a mom. She was, surprised how hard the mattresses are. So, I mean, it actually needs to be firm for the baby's safety. But something where the side of the crib does not go down. Yeah. I know those were very popular back in the day, but those are actually unsafe. And then if the crib has the slates, I'm going to call them.
Yeah.
Then want to make sure that they are close enough together to where the baby cannot fit its head through those openings. And it should be sturdy. Even the pack and plays are okay because you can take those from room to room.
Yeah. My sons, both of my sons have slept in a pack and play till they're like at least 3 to 4 months old.
What about the placement of the crib? Do you put the crib anywhere in a room? Are there any thoughts towards placement?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah. Make sure there's like no cords. A lot of like moms and parents nowadays have like the video monitor. So there's a cord that comes down from that. So you got to be careful that is away from the crib, that they can't like pull it and use that cord. They could grab that cord, put it around their neck. Just make sure it's away from anything that they could grab.
Windows?
Yeah,
away from windows. Even like over the heating vents or air vent. Don't want baby to get too cold or overheat. Just things you wouldn't think about just where to place the crib, not only what type of crib to get, but even where to place it. As adults, we don't bother the window or a hanging cord, but those little baby minds are very curious. So anything moving and dangling and, light and bright and air, that's like a learned opportunity. So
Research and development.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. What about all the toys and, loveys and all these sweet things that people give us? Do you put a baby to bed with something soft and cuddly because they want to hold on to it?
No.
No.
It's not safe. Not safe. I even recommend my moms not to start babies off with the cute little pacifiers. They have the dangly little giraffes and animals at the end of it. Those aren't safe either. Once again, that's a toy or something that can be a suffocation issue. Just have to set all those things aside. And
it's so challenging. So dressing the baby to sleep. Miranda, how do you dressing your little guys for sleep?
So my son right now is 8 months old, and what we do, I am conscious about overheating. It's getting into the colder months. So I just put his pajamas on, no onesie, and then I put a sleep sack on him. So a sleep sack is great because it's like zipped up. It's secure that it's not going to come off and be like an extra loose thing in the crib that he suffocates with. So that's all. And I put him flat on his back to sleep. Now he is 8 months, so he can roll over, and oftentimes he rolls over and on his stomach and sleeps that way, or he'll go back and forth. But it's because he can do that because he's older. He's past that stage where I'm really worried about it. But
so most safe sleep deaths are under 6 months, but safe sleep deaths can go up to 1 year of age. So we always want to tell parents back to sleep, tummy to play. And would you wake up a sleeping baby to put them back on their back?
If they are at the age where they can roll over, like Miranda mentioned her son is, then they will most likely roll back over to another position. But if the baby is still less than the age where they are actively rolling over multiple times, say, for instance, they just happen to plop over, put the baby back on its back to sleep. Co-sleeping, I would say, is also another thing we want to avoid. Having the baby in the bed with you. Lots of rollover devs. The sheets can get on the bed, on the baby, cover the baby. So
making a nest for my baby isn't a good thing, like using some pillows or things like on the couch or in the bed. I just need to go over and do this.
Not recommended. Not recommended. Baby can fall over, roll over, get under. Just all types of things can happen.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you're tired and you're breastfeeding your baby? What do you do?
In the middle of the night, it's a challenge because I've even done this where I grab my baby and I'm breastfeeding and I doze off and I like jolt awake and like, oh my goodness, I think about that. That freaks me out, by the way, but yeah, it's a challenge. It's such a challenge. And I know that we teach that in our breastfeeding classes. I know some instructors will teach that they set an alarm.
Yeah.
Like a 20-minute alarm so that they can wake themselves up if they do end up falling asleep, because it's a challenge. You are tired. You are so sleep deprived because you're waking up at all hours of the night. But one little mistake of falling asleep could be fatal for your baby. So just be safe all around.
How do dads figure into this whole process? What can dads and family members do to help? Because it seems like there's a lot of burden with the safe sleep on the mom, but dads are part of the equation. So is the rest of the family, aunties, grandmas. What do we want to say to them?
Well, I recommend and have actually spoken with dads or family members, or actually, for the mom, educate the mom on letting dad, aunties know that safe sleep when she's not with the baby involves, in the crib, the designated crib or pack and play, no cute blankets around it, no toys, firm surface. Don't even fall asleep with the baby on the couch. As the parent, a lot of baby deaths have occurred with parent or caretakers on the couch fall asleep and the baby falls in between the cushion and the couch. So if it's nap time or relaxing, put the baby in the designated safe sleep space. And you know, it's about communication and informing your caretakers. You know, you won't be around, but let them know that up front, this is what I would like to see, you know, when you're taking care of my infant.
So if a mom doesn't have a crib, are there resources?
There are very many resources. Help Me Grow. We work a lot with, there's an initiative program right now in Ohio to promote safe sleep. So there's the Cribs for Kids program. I know one in particular is backed up by Dayton Children's Hospital.
So Cribs for Kids is not only through Dayton Children's, but also Public Health has Cribs for Kids available. So we do want to make sure that our moms know that we can help them provide a safe sleep environment. No mom should have a baby at home without a safe place to put the baby so that she can go to the bathroom, take a shower, take care of the things that make her who she is, because that's really important. And sometimes we forget that. Any last thoughts that you would like to share? If you could just say one thing to a mom or her family about safe sleep.
Safe sleep is very important for your little person, and we want to prevent as many infant deaths as possible. So reach out to the community, reach out to your provider, ask questions when you go to your prenatal visits. For instance, Help Me Grow. That's one of our main focus is, you know, we do several safe sleep assessments during our visits, throughout our time with the parents. So safe sleep is highly, highly recommended.
Miranda, as a new mom, well, newish now, what would you tell other moms?
I think it's important to realize that safe sleep, healthy sleep is learned, not innate. Babies don't just come out of the womb knowing that how to sleep well on their back, flat on their back. I think that's something we didn't stress about, flat.
Yes. Even if they have reflux?
Yeah, flat. The research has shown that flat is best, safety-wise and for reflux. So yeah, it's important to, as a parent, to teach them that we go to sleep on our back. I was just talking to my friend and my sister that their kids didn't like sleeping on their back, that they liked being like propped up or slept on better on their stomach, on their chest. And do we give into that? Do we give into that, that unsafe sleep practice? Or do we, as parents, teach them that the back is best, and eventually they will learn that that is best to sleep, and they will sleep better that way. But it is a process, because you're tired, you're sleep deprived as a new mom.
Yes.
You'll do anything to get that baby to sleep, but one little mistake can be fatal.
Thank you so much for spending time with us. On behalf of Kettering Health Network and the Childbirth Education team, and Miranda, Krishan, and myself, we thank you for viewing Safe Sleep ABCs with us and having this important life-saving conversation.